All right, so we're on week 20 already. Can you believe it? That's 10 weeks to go. And we're actually in the last module. It just happens to be a really big module, okay? So this whole resume, interviewing, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we're going to start with things in just a minute. What I first want you guys to do is, and I have it on my slides, I didn't get a note sent out about it. But I want us to just go over sharing really quick. Let's see, we're over here, I think. I want you to just share really quick, verbally, how you're doing on your goals. I think almost everybody turned things in, or they're just about to. So those of you that have it turned in, let's just share with where we're going, because we're really coming to this place now where the things that you're doing, even with your monthly project thing, are going to come to fruition. It's going to become more and more important as you narrow down into this resume piece, okay? That you have a majority of those things finished, or you're moving toward that, and that kind of thing. So I want us to be able to share kind of where we're headed. It's kind of the trajectory we're going, because everybody's a little different, and that's totally okay. So if someone is ready to start, we'll start with them. And if May, are you ready to start, or do you have a question?
I was just going to say that I have taken a tour of a college, and I just haven't got around to typing up my thoughts on
Okay.
it.
So go ahead, since you raised your hand, I'm going to let you go first and just tell us 2 or 3 things you learned about that in relation to kind of what you're pursuing. Tell us where you went and those kind of things.
So I actually got to see it in person because my brother is going there. So I got to walk around the college. It's UCF in Florida.
Okay.
And it was really cool. It was huge, very, very big. There were a lot of stuff. They have so many classes and opportunities and clubs and things like that. And I don't know. I think if I was going to go into business, I would probably take like a business course there. And
like a business degree track? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, cool. I think I think you've touched on one thing that's really important, especially as homeschoolers, to keep in mind when you're looking at places is, we're all kind of sort of used to being at home, learning at home, right? And doing a few things in our community instead of kind of the flip of that, which is out in the community all the time and a little bit at home, right? And so really checking in with your personality and your family style and who you are as a person, and understanding, is that going to be too much, completely overwhelming? Is it going to be good for you? Are you really not quite ready for that? Or are you truly ready and your parents think you're ready for that big leap into, campuses that have 50,000 students where you're a family of 4 or, whatever, and you have a co-op of 20 or something. So go ahead, May.
I am definitely not ready for this yet.
Yeah, well, you have a couple years, and so you're getting there, though, and so you're able to warm up to the idea. So that's great. I'm really excited for you to see where things go. And in a second, after everybody else shares, I may just share a little bit of big news from our house today on the college front. So we'll see. Okay, so who wants to go next? I'll just call people. Go ahead, Landon.
Okay, so I toured the University of Florida's film department. So I guess like a separate college, but it's like at UF. And so it's like affiliated with the University of Florida, but I don't know. It's confusing.
It's
But
okay. I understand.
I toured that online, and also just kind of like talked to my parents about like what I like my options for college. And so I toured that and like learned about like where the buildings are for the film department. And you can also like it's like an extra cost for the dorms, but they have like sorry, I'm getting a call. Just a second. There we go. And so it's like a compound almost for the film students.
Okay.
And then I also we were talking about like, since I'm not really sure what I want to go to college for completely, and I'm really interested in ministry, doing Tulsa Community College, which is just like our local community college.
Mhm.
There's a paid internship at the summer camp I go to.
Cool.
And so doing online like gen ed classes and
Yep.
doing the paid internship there and
Yep.
learning about like the options I have in ministry.
And that's a great way to go, because then you could take that associate's degree and jump in and just, if you really decide that the film degree is where you want to go, you're ready to jump in full throttle at that second, third year level of that, and save a bunch of money off those first 2 years. So good call on that. And you can also look at the paid internship type of idea is a great idea. And you may find, I know they have like, it's called Creative Scotland is what it's called here. And it's basically a forum for creatives, and where people that need interns, they need people to help, they need extras, they need they need writers, they need exhibitors, they need all kinds of things in the creative arts. So maybe there's those types of things within your state, or even in your county or region, that you can tap into to get some of that experience and really solidify the pieces that you want to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was funny enough because I got a letter in the mail today, and it's for Quest Bridge College Prep. And it's like this college preparation program where it's like a third party that has connections in all of the major colleges, and
Okay.
then you can do like online seminars and stuff like that and apply for scholarships through that. And they can, I don't know if you pay for it or not, but based on like your grades and stuff like that, they offer like college admission like recommendations, and they can
Right.
add your like applications and stuff like that.
Right. Cool. That's exciting. So follow up on that. I'm sure they probably want some amount of money for it. That's how things kind of go. But see if it's really valuable and get some other people's opinions on it. No worries, May. I see you've got two screens going, but we'll ignore the other one, and it'll go away eventually. So okay, so Logan and Sonobi, do either of you want to go next on sharing? Logan, I'm sorry, Sonobi, go ahead.
So I didn't do the tour for this month.
Yeah,
I
that's
did one
okay.
of the other ones.
Yep, go ahead.
Do you want me to just share that? Like
Yeah, totally. Because I've read through what you guys already submitted and everything, which is why I wanted you guys to hear what each other's doing, so that you recognize, places where there's sameness and same thing going on, and places where maybe you're doing it a little differently and somebody else has good ideas they want to offer you. So go ahead.
So I did the one where you research what are the most important skills to have to become whatever you want to do, and I chose hairstylist. And some of them that you have to have are creativity, customer service skills, listening skills, physical stamina, tidiness, time management, active listening, and problem solving. And then it says for you to choose one of those to like add to your monthly goal sheet. And I picked time management.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I did see those on there. So that's excellent. Would you in an email send me the link to where you found that information? Because what you found was really good information. And I kind of keep a little collection of things like that in files. When you guys find stuff that I'm not familiar with, but that sounds like it's really good, I want to go and look and see if it's something I want to like weave in next time around, or offer to somebody else as a general website to look at, or that type of thing. So if you will send me that link, you can do it after class, whenever, that would be awesome. So good job on that, because what you did is going to tie directly into this week's lesson. Okay. And I will offer in a few minutes, I'll offer some ideas on how to use the ideas that you were presented with there, with the time management and all the other soft skills you mentioned, and take an approach to the kind of, where do you begin when you're trying to work out a resume and that kind of thing. So, okay. So Logan, do you have anything you want to offer? You did submit the project as well. And so I just wanted to give you the chance to chat with us as well and make sure that everybody gets a chance to share.
All right, so my goals were to find a job and exercise more. I had a few more of those, but just to sum it up. And the job search has not gone well at all. Everybody's hiring, but nobody wants to hire in the hours that I want or have to, because obviously I'm still in school.
Right.
And
You did have something over Christmas though, right?
yes, I did. I had a UPS job.
Awesome. Okay. So that is something you can definitely put on this upcoming resume and update things with that job on there as you go forward. All right. So, but you know what, those first pieces can sometimes be a little bit hard, and you maybe have a lot of little short-term jobs, and that's okay, because you're building. Your resume is something that you carry with you, much like a transcript, for the whole of your life, and things will pop up on it, and then other things will be dropped off as they become no longer relevant and that kind of thing. But in the beginning, it's about kind of gathering everything you can. So that's what we're going to work on this next module. Anything else you want to share?
Nope, that's about it.
Nope. Okay, awesome. All right, so we are going to jump into the next bit of things. So let me switch back here and see what we're doing next. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do. Let me give you the link here. We're going to go over to the Jamboard, slides 9 to 11. And we're going to, some of you guys may already have the link, and you can take a look at that. The link is in the chat. Okay, we are on page 9. So here's where we're at. We're at week 20, creating a resume, part 1. Okay, so what I want you to do is list 3 jobs that you do around the house. So I'm not talking about employment out in the big bad world, right? I'm talking about things you do around the house that you actually do. You're responsible for them and you do them well. And they don't need to be things that you're actually earning money for. So if your parents are like, I need you to do these 5 things every week, and then when you do those, you get 20 bucks a week or something like that, whether you get money for it or not, but things that you're responsible for around the house. I want you guys to list those here. Just 3 of them. You may find that you can think of oodles. And you might find that, and then put them under your name so that we kind of see, okay, chickens, cats, dogs, sheep chores. Okay, so you do a little bit of barn work and pet management. Okay, let's not call it pet management. Let's call it livestock management. Okay. Okay, so good. And so, okay, May, that must have been your old account finally dropping off. Okay, good. Okay, so Landon, you've got some household chores there, cleaning the bathroom, doing some laundry, cleaning the living room. Okay, good deal. So a little bit of household management, and May, you're probably working on yours right now, and Logan. So just a couple things there that you guys do. And you may find that you do other things. So do your bathroom, cleaning your room, and anything in the house. Okay, so you guys all have kind of cleaning duties, taking care of the pets and doing household chores. Everybody's kind of got the same thing going. Who cooks dinner once a week, or any other meal for that matter? Do you have a day of the week that you are like in charge of cooking or something like that, Landon? Okay, so that would be one of those things that I would say put here. Do you have, I know this is not the time of year for outdoor chores, aside from maybe the animals, but do you have outdoor chores that you do seasonally? So like in one of the previous year's classes, I had a student that their family owned a ranch, and in the spring, they had to go out and mend all the fences from all the winter storms and that kind of thing. So that was his job. He mended fences every spring. And it was a kind of a chore. He didn't recognize that was actually a really good contractor's skill for a basic type of work and that kind of thing. All right. To just show that you have basic skills in construction and in, some type of maybe livestock management and that kind of thing. So even those kind of things that you might not do seasonally, maybe you do ride the tractor and mow the hay fields in the summer. Maybe you only have a 1 acre field that you do, but you're responsible to do it every summer or something like that. So those kind of different jobs, I want you this week, you're going to be reaching to the far reaches of things. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next slide. And I think I went too far. Nope. Okay. 9, 10. Okay. So now I want you to think about 3 activities you participate in or have participated in that are not part of your regular schooling at home. All right. So by activities, you can be sports, clubs, what other kind of things? We're going to do volunteer work on a different slide. So these are things that are more in the hobby sense. All right. Maybe you have a book club you're a part of, or that you lead, or something like that, or something. Okay. Even those kind of things. Okay. So Girl Scouts, volleyball, 4-H, youth group, basketball, softball, journaling, youth group, tennis, leadership, piano lessons. That's a good one to put there. So the music lessons totally count. If you're in a youth choir, a theater, a music theater, a drama troupe, a tap dancing group, whatever. If you play the bagpipes, maybe pretty much guessing nobody here plays the bagpipes. So, but you get what I mean there. We have a friend and he's very involved in fencing, and not the kind of fencing to keep the animals in, like we were just talking about, but the actual art of jousting and fencing and that kind of thing. Actually, jousting is when you're on the horse with the big pole, and that's different than fencing. So those kind of things. So I want you to put those here. So taking care of cats and crafts and youth group and journaling, those are all good things. If you are doing art classes, if you're doing a writing class that is not necessarily, those are kind of the fine arts to me, they count for school, but they count for so much more than school quite often. Okay. So if you feel like it's more than just a semester of art history or a semester of drawing 101 type of thing, then those are things that I would put here. Okay. Okay. So the third one on slide 11 is all the volunteering you've done in the last 3 years. Okay. So we all know the last couple of those 3 years has been kind of a complete nosedive with anything in the community, right? But things are beginning to ramp up. And so now is the time to recapture those things that you're doing, or to remember where you left off pre-lockdown. Okay. So if you were helping in doing like vacation Bible schools or youth clubs for little kids in your community or something like that, pre-COVID, put it down. If you are planning to do that again, or the different things, that's more of the volunteering, put those things down. Maybe you are, maybe you're babysitting one night a month so that all of the single moms in your church can go and have a coffee and hang out together with just other single moms, or whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you are part of a leadership group that is within your youth group, or within your 4-H group, or within your hobby group, or your sports and athletics group, that is a little bit more than just, going and participating. Okay. So it's a little bit different. So VBS, that counts. Yep. Your leadership development camps, Landon, those are what I was thinking of. You're volunteering. If you're doing things like the soundboard at church, or you're running the lighting for a theater production, even if it was just the Christmas nativity play, those are the kind of things that you put down, because that is volunteer work, right? Nobody's paying you to do it. You're offering of your time and your services. You're learning a skill, and those become things that you can actually put on a resume, especially these first resumes. Okay. Winter camp counseling, preschool fundraisers, exactly. All those kind of things. So good. So the goal here is to get the ideas flowing of all the things you've done or are doing in your high school career that actually translate to proving you have those soft skills that you were talking about, Sonovi, in that list that you shared from your monthly goals thing. Okay, so that's where, when you're thinking, and this is for everybody, not just Sonovi. Sonovi is the one that just kind of opened it up for us. That's where, when you're looking at those soft skills, the best thing you can do for your resume and for your interview purposes is to look at each soft skill that you have listed that is considered a strength and come up with a situation where you used that soft skill. Okay, and jot some notes down so that if you were questioned about it, or it becomes something you can put on a resume. Okay, so if you have 8 soft skills, can you think of individual situations, write those down, and kind of tuck those away for later? If you're thinking about those, make those notes, because that assignment is actually coming up later. So those are things to think about with where we're going. Right now, we're just collecting kind of the data, if you will, of your lives to be able to begin honing and crafting. How can we make this look stellar on a resume? Okay, to prove the skills that you have. That's the goal. Okay, so we're going to come back here, and we're going to spend, raise your hand and let me know, did you guys already create the account where the Wheel of Strengths is, or do you still need to do that? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking, nobody, okay. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Hopefully y'all can get to it. Okay. It's a UK link, but we are going to be using it a lot this term. So go ahead and create the account. It's a free account, and you'll be able to say you're a student and that kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure everybody in here is over 13, so I think you're okay with that. If it's giving you some kickback, then let me know in the chat if you're not able to get in and log in and get to this screen. Okay, I'm in my account here. When you have that done, give me a thumbs up or let me know somehow that you are logged in, because I'm going to walk you through it, and then I'm going to let you go to do some of the things on your own. Okay. So while you guys are getting logged in, I'm going to go and just go to this next piece here and walk you through the screens so that you have, if you have to refer back to the video for anything, it'll be here for you. Okay. So do let me know when you've gotten the login taken care of. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to look at a couple different areas here. There's 3 areas, and then you'll get your results page. Okay, and I'm going to walk through it this first time to show you how it works, and then you'll be able to go through and do it for yourself. Yeah, Landon.
On part of it, it's not letting me go past until I enter an address. Should I enter my own address since I'm homeschooled? Because it says
Yeah,
like
because what they're trying to, I think, see just where in the UK people are using it. But go ahead and if you don't want to put your own personal address, just go ahead and do, Main Street, Anytown, USA, or whatever. And that's totally fine. Whatever you are comfortable with there. Good question. Okay, so what are your skills? Skills are the things you're good at, right? That's kind of some of the stuff we were just talking about. They are what enable you to do a whole range of tasks at school, at home, in your hobbies, and in your future job. They help you to work with others, to communicate and to solve problems. They are developed and improved during your life through the experiences you have. And how can you make the most of your skills? It's useful to think about what skills you do have, and then you can use your strongest ones to help you get a job in the future and you could challenge yourself to improve the ones that you find the hardest. So spotting the opportunities to develop more skills helps you make you more employable. Okay. So what this is about is we're going to go and choose some different things, and you'll be able to come back and choose, it's a kind of a mix and match thing. Okay. So they want you to select 2 to 7 skills below and add them to your wheel. Okay. And you don't see the wheel yet, but you will in a minute. Okay. So things about you that are kind of who you are. So I am just going to choose for me. All right. Aiming high, creativity. The more you choose, like if you do the total of 7, then you're going to get more choices. If you only choose the 2, it's not really going to have much to work with. Okay. I'm all about teamwork, problem solving, organization, communication, decision making, and I probably don't have very many left. Let's just say presenting. Okay. Is it going to give me one more? I'll take resilience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I'm only supposed to choose 7, so we're going to take those. No, I want that one. Okay. Then the next thing you do is you choose your interests. So 2 to 7 interests. What do I like? I like traveling and languages. Right? And I like, believe it or not, social media and writing. I like reading and art. All right. And my personality. What am I? I have integrity. I'm thorough. I'm respectful. I'm enthusiastic and curious. Is that my wheel full? That's my wheel full. Okay. So that's where I stop then. Okay. And then you come back, it spins the wheel. And it gives you jobs and interests based on the choices you put there. Okay. And allows you to go through and look at the different jobs, look at the different skills there, and then go ahead and read through the rest of it. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to go through and do the wheel, get to this page and see what it chooses. And then we'll talk about it here in a minute. So when you have it done, let me know. Okay. And I'm going to pause if I can find the right button, pause the recording. All right, so we did Sonobe's as an example, and now I want the rest of you guys to share what you found doing the wheel of, what's it called? The wheel of skills, wheel of strengths, sorry. What did you guys find out? Landon, go ahead.
I got care worker, journalist, and customer service advisor.
Okay, so the journalist makes sense. I could see that for you definitely. With some of the things that you have going on and with your personality. I could also see care worker, not necessarily just based on your personality and the skill level. That's where, this is looking at a lot of soft skills, and maybe Sonobe, that's why it surprised you, because soft skills are those that go into all different types of career paths and jobs. They just look a little bit different in the jobs. It's like if you say, I'm a tree. Okay, well, what kind of tree are you? You're a tree. There's lots of trees, right? It's the same type of thing with soft skills, right? If you are resilient, okay, what does that look like for a care worker? What does it look like for an attorney? What does it look like for production manager for a film crew, or, different things? It's going to look just a little different, but the root is still the same soft skill. Okay. So that's where they're looking at with some of those. So that's interesting, Landon, what you picked up on there for those different jobs. May, what about you?
I got politician.
Okay. Well, I can see that, the apples don't fall
No!
far from the tree. Let's just put it that way. All right.
This is awful.
What else did you get?
Architect.
Okay.
Police officer.
Well, I got architect and police officer as well. And I would say, based on knowing my personality and having you for 2 years in a row, we are very similar in personality,
Okay.
believe it or not. Okay. So,
Well, that's not a bad thing.
well, thank
And then I got play worker
you. Yeah.
and veterinary nurse, which
Okay.
I've actually thought about that before. And then a recruiter responsible for matching candidates to the right jobs.
Okay. Okay. So that would even be like college admissions is part of recruiting and, or, you know, different type, there's all kinds of recruiting and that kind of thing. So interesting. Well, you can see if you go back and you look at the soft skills that you chose, again, they're matching soft skills with things you like, okay, and hobbies and that kind of thing. So that's where those things are coming together, because it's really the skill set is based on soft skills. Logan, what did you come up with?
Architect and police officer.
All right, well, look out, here we come, right? I think we might need to form some type of, I don't know, community service organization, right? So awesome. Okay, so it's just another way to look at things, and just then you can go through and you can explore a job and say, oh my word, I would never, while I might have these soft skills, I can't see myself actually enjoying that job. Okay. And then you can go back and you can go back to the other pages and kind of fiddle around with it a little and see if you come up with something different. Okay. So, okay. So that was just something to help you see just the different types of things that we're going to gather for this resume thing. Okay. So that's all part of it. So let me share my screen again and see where we're headed next. Okay, so now we're going to actually jump into the lesson. We have about 20 minutes. We're going to watch the video, talk through the homework, and show you a couple examples of finished resumes. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pause video and they can pick up the recording elsewhere. All right, so that video talked about a number of different things to do this week. That's why we began to tiptoe through some of these big ideas to get the juices flowing for you with the wheel of strengths, with the things we did on the Jamboard and that kind of thing. So keep that information that we've done in this lesson today, keep that handy or go back and do it again. If you close the tabs, you can, the link is in the assignment, you can do it again. And begin working on those worksheets. Okay, so in the assignment, I think it was last year, I decided I didn't like so much. Most of the categories and everything she has are actually excellent. But I realized that there was one or two that I felt like we needed to add. And I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to do it digitally instead of just all the handwriting and that kind of thing, so that it's a document that will grow with you if you save it on your hard drive or on the cloud or whatever. So I put it together in Google format, basically. Okay, just really quick. It's kind of boring looking and pretty plain, and that's okay. So this is a shared document and you have viewer access. So you're going to want to come up and choose make a copy before you begin. If you use this one, if you choose to print out the other ones and do it handwriting style, that's totally fine. It contains the same information except for one additional topic area. Okay, so the organization and the projects and titles, that was the first sheet. The second sheet is the strengths in your personality. So you, your friends, and your mentors, you guys remember that, right? And then the workplace environment. So part of it, I sort of felt like she was assuming you guys already have some workplace experience. And that might not be the case, but if you have volunteer experience that goes into any of these categories, put that here as well. But you can see I kept the same categories, and I think what we decided was that this one that's other. So I'm going to put technology there, and I'm going to actually spell it right. There we go. And no, I don't want to do that. There we go. Okay, so because the technology aspect of life is becoming more and more important, and you guys do have technology skills in probably one or more of these other categories. So, and you might have some that don't fit in with those categories. Okay. So keep that in the mix when you're looking at the different things. The very fact that you go to an online academy, you have technology skills. Okay. You guys are succeeding in logging in every day, checking your messages, attending online classes, submitting things, working in an online environment. Okay. With other people. Okay. And that's a huge skill. A lot of people have gone from graduating from True North and launched into university setting, and the things that have helped them ease into that the most has been their ability to navigate an online system well, and not have to learn that in all the other new things going on. Okay, so that is something that really should be on here. Okay, and then we go on, and there's just the skill traits, just like all the individual sheets she was showing. And so go ahead and look at those words, highlight them, circle them, color them in your special color, and that'll be fine. And then turn in a link to your copy if you do the digital one. What else did I want to say about the assignment here? Okay, so those are the worksheets. I want to make sure that you guys understand what's happening with those before we move on to the resume examples, because those aren't necessarily the most important piece today, because we will be looking at a lot of resumes coming up. I just had them there in case we had time to look at them. Do you guys understand the assignment? You can go back and watch the video again if you need to. It is a little bit of kind of a bit of soul searching, a bit of asking other people to give you a solid, strong, positive opinion of your character qualities, and then pulling things together. And you might talk with your parents and your grandparents and maybe your youth workers and mentors and say, can you think of some of the skills or jobs things that I could add to this if you're hitting a wall and getting stuck? Yeah, May.
I think I missed where the link is to the doc. Do you have the link?
It should be in the assignment, but I'll drop it for you here really quick, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Because,
yeah, if I tried to get to the assignment, it would probably shut me out of
you'd
Zoom.
shut you down again, wouldn't it? Okay. I'll just send it to everybody so you guys can take a look at it there. There you go. Okay, so that is the assignment there. Excuse me, I'm going to pop back over to it. If there aren't any questions, we'll take a minute. I see your hand. We'll take a minute and look at some resumes, but May, go ahead with your question.
The access is denied.
Oh, good grief. Hang on. All right. What have I done up here? Share. Probably still says restricted, right? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Anyone with the link can view. Now you should be able to do it with refreshing, but just in case, there you go again. All right. All right. Aside from technology questions, I don't get an A for technology today, but that's okay. Any questions about this? You kind of have a trajectory you guys know you're headed toward in working this. And if you only end up with like 2 or 3 things in a category, and some categories don't have any, that's okay. We're going to keep building on it. Okay. But this is where we're starting. So don't get down on yourself that you've only got 3 things and that kind of thing. All right. All right. We have 5 minutes. I'm going to take you to look at, this is the resume. We may look again at this one. This is the resume that is in this course. And take a look at this while I go answer the door. Hang on a quick second. All right. The idea of this resume isn't horrible, but it's not great. Who am I? Why do I want to work here? How can I add value? Where I've been, what I've learned. If I were an office manager, and this person of any office, a business manager or the person doing the hiring, and I saw this, even as a very first style of resume, it would put me off. I would not be intrigued by it. Okay. But what do you guys think? What do you guys see? And that's the question I should have asked first. Instead of giving you my opinion first, I should have asked you guys, what do you see here that is either good or that he could have done better in presenting himself? What do you guys see? May, go ahead.
Well, some of his language isn't very businesslike. I think when you want to make a resume, you shouldn't really be using y'all, which is kind of like slang. You should have everything very like businesslike and professional, and you know, so that they know that you're capable of being a mature worker.
Right. So if this is his high rung, that this is the best of the best on his best day ever, right? And then once he relaxes into the job and the honeymoon's over and things are, you know, going kind of status quo, is it going to slide? What's it going to slide down to, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, I agree with you on that. What about the rest of you guys? What else do you see? Yeah, Landon.
Overall, like it's relatively vague on the different topics, and also the like format is very bland and doesn't like draw your eyes to anything.
Yeah, true. So some of those buzzwords that she was talking about, you're not seeing them here, are you? It's kind of a little chatty. So Sinovi, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say, yeah, better organization, and I don't know, I think that it's kind of funny, like, and kind of not very formal, like the way he says, like, why I want to work here, and then puts the stuff underneath.
Yeah, exactly. And then the first thing he says, and I'd scrolled past it, but the first thing he says is who I know. I know somebody that works there. So I'm kind of riding the coattails of somebody else. That you do not put that in a resume. You might allude to that in a cover letter and say, a current employee, Emily Alberts, informed me that the job opening for widget maker specialist 2 is available, and blah, blah, blah type of thing, but never in a resume. Okay. So 1 second, Landon. Logan, was there anything there that stuck out to you?
Most everything's already been spoken for.
Yeah. Okay. Landon.
So I like applied when I worked at Chick-fil-A. I worked there for like I think 8 months, but I applied because my friend recommended it to me. And so instead of putting like, oh, I know so and so on the resume, it was during the interview that I mentioned, hey, so and so recommended me to the job, or recommended me for the job. So or like told me about the job. So if you need like a recommendation or anything like that, you could ask her.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a totally appropriate place to do it. But you don't start with that. You don't start with who you know. You start with who you are, right? That's what you start with. And you tell them about you. They don't care so much at this point who you know. They want to know, are you qualified to do the job, right? Do you have what it takes? Do you have the skills, the personality, soft skills, and experience to do whatever the job is? And then later is when you bring up the who you know. Okay, so we're going to stop with that one. And you guys did a good job identifying the really kind of rubbish bits. But we are at 3 o'clock now, or whatever time it is in your time zone. Certainly not 3 o'clock here. So go ahead, work through this week's assignment, begin whatever the next phase that you're on for your monthly goals, so that you are working through those and stepping through them step by step. You guys are doing awesome, and your resumes are going to be great by the time we get them all polished and finished. Okay, so have a great week, and I will see you next week. All right, we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.